Hello, guys. This is Nolberg with RN Staff. I'm actually one of the consultants, recruitment consultants, and I'll be behind the scenes right here helping you guys out. But first, I wanted to introduce you to three of our consultants and tell you a little bit more of who RN Staff is, some of the trends that are happening within the state, within the nursing industry, and of course, assignments that are available. And we're going to touch on all those points. But again, first, I want to introduce you to the three consultants that we have here. So we have Cole, Rudy, and Kyle. So the first that's going to talk to you guys is going to be Rudy. So take it off.
Thanks, Norbert. Appreciate that. And thank you so much for you guys taking time away from your busy days to spend with us. RN Staff we are a leading healthcare recruiting company founded in 2004 right here in Indianapolis, Indiana. And over the last 15 years, we've learned a lot of different things. And what really makes us different and what makes me proud to be part of the team is that we're here for it to be a career compass for nurses and healthcare professionals. We're not here to find you the best position only. We're here to make sure that you're comfortable during that transaction. Again, we want to be a partner as you grow through your career and as we grow as an organization. So just to bring you into one of the things that makes us just a little bit different and a little more cutting edge is one of my colleagues, Kyle here, who's another recruiting consultant, to tell you a little more about Scrub Portal.
All right, thank you, Rudy. So here at RN Staff, we've actually created our own proprietary technology called Scrub Portal. So what Scrub Portal is it basically allows us to have the fastest application process in the entire recruiting industry. So not only does it just act as an application process, but it allows us to take you from application to submission to credentialing in the blink of an eye. It also allows us to actually store all of your credentials in our system here. And it actually will send you guys notifications as well for whenever your certifications or licenses are about to expire to send you those reminders. Lastly, once an account actually has been created with us or with you guys in Scrub Portal, you can see all of our job postings in there. Everything that would be, whether it's in Indiana or across the entire country, you have access to see all of those openings there. We'll go ahead and kick it over to Cole. He's going to talk a little bit about the Indiana license changes going on right now.
All right, thanks, Kyle. So again, there's actually some exciting changes going on for the state of Indiana on the horizon. So in case you haven't heard, Indiana is projected in early 2020 to be officially a compact licensed state. So our goal at RN Staff is to essentially provide visibility not just for the state of Indiana, but all the way across the country. So again, basically with all these openings that we're about to relay, the benefit of us becoming a compact state is in the event you don't currently have an Indiana license, if any of these openings sound like an ideal job fit for you, we'll be able to seamlessly place you in any of these positions in which you see fit for you.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and show you a couple of the assignments that we have right now. So we're going to go ahead and start it off with the St. Vincent's.
All right, guys, so the first hot job that we have in the state of Indiana is none other than St. Vincent. This is actually going to be at our Indianapolis facility. I'm sure many of you are familiar with St. Vincent's. They're a huge healthcare system. Now, the benefit of this location specifically is it's roughly about 20 minutes north of downtown Indianapolis. So again, this is a relatively easy accessible location for commuters. It's right off of our 465 highway, and the benefit of this location is that you get all the perks of living in a huge city without having to deal with the hustle and bustle of a major metropolitan area. So looking at some of those openings, first we have a med-surg opening specifically in the neurology unit. Now your average weekly pay is going to be looking somewhere between $14.70 and $15.13 a week. Secondly, you're looking at another med-surg opening in orthopedics, looking around $14.25 to $1,500 a week. And last but certainly not least, we have a cardiovascular intensive care unit position. That's actually paying all the way up from $1,800 to $1,950 a week. So some exciting things going on in St. Vincent, Indianapolis.
All right, so next we have IU Health Methodist. This is actually located in the heart of Indianapolis. This is a pretty big facility at 882 beds. So if you're into the large and fast-paced environment, some of these opportunities could be the ones that you'd be looking for. I know you're probably thinking downtown Indy, there's probably nowhere to park, but don't worry, they do have their own parking lots there available for all employees. So some of the needs here at IU Health, they're needing some ICU nurses there in the transplant unit. You're going to be making anywhere from $1,900 up to $2,000 per week. So they also need some med surge, general surgery and float, where you'll be making about $1,850 to $1,950 per week. And then lastly, they need some PCU for $1,900 to $2,000 per week as well. And then some endoscopy nurses there as well for $1,800 to $1,950 per week. Next, we are needing Memorial Hospital in South Bend. This is part of the Beacon Health community, one of the largest health communities in the state of Indiana. So this is Notre Dame country up there. They have a great atmosphere, great community, great people. A total population of about 100,000 people. Obviously, being up there close to South Bend, there's quite a bit to do. You're just a short drive to Chicago, short drive to Lake Michigan, so quite a bit going on up there. What Memorial Hospital, their needs are right now, they're needing med-surg nurses. You'll be making anywhere from $1,513 to $1,588 per week. They need some ICU nurses there, $1,575 to $1,650 per week. And endoscopy nurses here again as well for $1,563 to $1,625 per week. Oncology for $1,438 to $1,538 per week. Telemetry nurses there for $1,538 to $1,631. And then lastly, they're needing some emergency room nurses as well for about $1,500 to $1,556 per week.
Which leaves us to just a short drive south to beautiful Kokomo, Indiana. Now, Kokomo, as many things as it's known for, is really, really primarily a small town in Indiana, to where you're going to be able to have the small town feel, but the big city access, right? You're going to be around a community of people who just really care. So within the community health regional system in Kokomo, we've currently got openings for the surgical unit, to where you can earn up to $1,650 a week. The L&D maternal and child units, where you can earn up to almost $1,900 per week, and ultrasound tech openings as well too, to where you can earn almost $1,800 a week. Take a short drive up north to Munster, Indiana. Now, Munster is on the northwest corner, northwest side, northwest portion of Indiana, and very, very small. Again, take advantage of Indiana, the crossroads of America. You're only a short drive away from Chicago. You're only a short drive away from Lake Michigan. You're very, very, very close to a lot of amazing things. Current openings right now, currently we've got an opportunity for cath lab, where you can earn almost up to $2,000 per week. CVOR, $1,950 a week. Med-surg positions, $1,775 a week. Telemetry, up to $1,950 per week. And working in the emergency room unit, up to $1,665 per week.
All right, and now moving to Indiana's second largest city, we've got Parkview Regional Medical Center. Again, that's up in Fort Wayne, Indiana's second largest city. So one thing about Fort Wayne, it does have some large universities, so it does still have that college town feel to it. They've also got a lot of minor league sports events and things to do on the weekends as well. Now, one thing geographically, it's equidistant to Ohio and Michigan. So again, in the event that you want to make some weekend plans or trips, you are definitely in a great position to do so. Now, one thing about this facility specifically is they are in dire needs of qualified nurses. They were actually offering crisis rates, so they desperately need nurses. So if any of these openings look like something you're interested in, definitely get on these as soon as possible. So first opening, you have med-surg. That's ranging anywhere from $1,400 to $1,565 a week. Next, you have MICU, also $1,450 to $1,600 a week. And lastly, you have an ICU opening, which requires no floating, and that's also going to be $1,450 to $1,600 a week. And lastly, kind of circling back to St. Vincent, this is actually going to be in Evansville, Indiana. So this is our largest area of need for the southern area of Indiana. So again, this area geographically is also kind of an ideal location if you're looking to travel or kind of entertain those festivities. You're about a 2-hour drive from St. Louis, Nashville, and Louisville. So kind of diving right into that, you have a pediatrics unit opening that's ranging about $1,350 to $1,400 a week. You have a med-surg opening, specifically in oncology, that's $1,350 to $1,400 a week. We have an endoscopy opening that's ranging about $1,400 to $1,500. And lastly, we have an IC unit opening, which is ranging about $1,500 per week.
Now, working with RN staff has got a significant amount of advantages. And I mentioned before, over the last 15 years, we've learned a lot of different things. We are Joint Commission certified. We operate under the JCO standards. So we have the accolades that we have earned over that period of time to really stand out and to lead the healthcare staffing industry. I personally love working with RN staff because of the people that we get to deal with and interact with on a daily basis. Just for instance, the other day I was working with a nurse in New Jersey who complained about it being rainy and cold, as it is here in Indianapolis too. It rains and then it snows, then it's icy and then it rains. It's the Midwest. It is beautiful, but she was complaining of rain out in New Jersey, and she mentioned to me, I asked, what's the most important thing to you in a physician? And like any good nurse would, she goes into the money, and I asked, no, I'm sorry. What's the most important thing to you in this change? She mentioned that she'd like to move to California. That's fantastic. We do have the small town touch with the domestic reach from coast to coast. We like to focus on Indiana because that is where we are absolute best and most recognized. However, this nurse in New Jersey just absolutely wanted to go to California. So we have begun to do that. I asked her, would you like wine country or the beach? Clear choice in the wintertime, she wanted to go to the beach. Right? She's already been processed through entire application and has been submitted to people in California in providers. It is currently being renewed as we speak. It's very, very important that we take advantage of the new year coming and really get on these opportunities that are closing up as our provider partners gear up for 2020. Take advantage of these crisis rates and then take advantage of RN staff. So being the most important thing to her, being at the beach, she's young, she's moving from New Jersey, she's going from California, and she's worried about being alone. We're going to be here for you. We've got an entire compliance department that will take the headache away from all your documentation requirements, most of your documentation requirements. We'd have an in-house specialist too that can help with relocation. We go the extra mile to make sure that there's comfort and that we create an experience for the nurse that's going to be everlasting. So allow us to be your career compass and move forward best you can. Now, thank you guys so much for spending a little time with us this afternoon. We really do appreciate it. We know you're busy. It's been wonderful to kind of introduce ourselves and bring a little light on what we do. We're going to be making monthly web calls to where we'll be discussing additional openings, additional changes in the industry, and how we can best connect the most qualified health professionals to the best positions in Indiana and then moving outward. So give us an email, give us a call. The phone number is directly in front of you, rnstaff.com. And again, thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate your time, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Again, like he said, like Rudy said, we're going to definitely let you know when the next shows are going to happen with more information not only on the state of Indiana, but also all across the nation and all different kinds of assignments that we have. Thanks again, and have a great evening.